and welcome to the Seahawkers podcast. Day 2 live coverage from here at the Clearwater Casino out in Suquamish, out on the peninsula of Washington State. And it continues to be a beautiful day, gentlemen.
It's a beautiful day for a number of reasons. One, the sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the grass is green, the sound is blue, and Sean McVay is blue as well. And we just see the Rams make another selection. Who will he be disappointed in next, Clinton?
Well, they just took Max Clare, tight end, Ohio State, the Ohio State gentleman. Well, you know, for a team that has 17 tight ends, because they invented the 13 personnel. We learned that last year. That Sean
Never
McVay,
been seen.
He's a genius.
Never been seen.
He invented 13 personnel.
Hey, if you like 13 personnel, wait till you see 14 personnel.
What?
Max Clare, 14th personnel. Okay, he's fine. Nice tight end and all, but cool. I still think that McVay is probably not over the fact that it took a quarterback they're not going to use in 2026.
Well, yeah, and now they add to a room that they had like 17 bodies in already. I mean, They have Parkinson, they have Turd Ferguson, and who is that? The third tight end.
They still got the dude.
The Stonehands dude?
Yeah.
No, he's not Stonehands, but he's older now.
Yeah.
We'll find him. Yeah.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. Now they got
enough.
a fourth one.
Yeah.
We got Jason Turner joining us live. We've got Marlon. We've got Ryan 911 saying, who TF is Max Clare? Nobody knows.
Hard telling.
Well, now he's our enemy. I can tell you that much. So now I
hate
Max
him.
Clare. Oh, we got to trade. We got to trade. The Bills are moving somewhere. We'll see where they go. And we're up in 2 picks, boys.
We're
And,
up in 2 picks.
When you pick
Cruising
64th, when you pick 64th, it's because you won the Super Bowl.
All right. So since we are up here in just 2 picks, we've watched a few guys fly off the board here in round 2.
Yeah.
Any things that make you excited about what we've seen so far, or maybe disappointed?
Round 2's been rough just because there are so many of those guys that we were targeting at the end of the first round of thinking, okay, these guys could be potential Seahawks. And they're still there at the start of the first round. And you start to see, guys like Pregnon off the board. You start to see guys like
We're pregnant.
didn't Pregnon go?
I
Maybe
don't know.
Pregnon's
Did
still
Pregnon
available.
go?
I see Marlon saying, is Preg still available? Question mark.
I'm looking. I'm trying to find the. Pons went to the Jets.
Pons went to the Jets. That's what I was thinking.
That makes me
Cisse was picked as well. So a couple of the corners at least.
Okay.
I know
There seemed to be a run on corners, safeties, linebackers, defensive tackle.
And that's like, and now we're run on tight ends, which is fine because we don't need tight ends. So all good there, guys. I don't think that Preggers for Pregnon's off the board from what I could see. I think he's still there.
So Pregnon's still there. Dunker's still there.
I was gonna say, let's go Dunker here. I'd be cool with that.
The dude was Tyler Higbee. That was the guy.
Oh,
the guy
Higbee.
Stonehand hit.
Yeah.
the guy we forgot completely.
I remember him by his nickname.
Yeah.
We got Ryan 911 with a $9.99
Oh,
super
dude.
chat saying go Hawks. Appreciate that, Ryan.
Dude, Ryan, that's amazing.
Yeah, he's
Thank
the
you.
best, man.
Always.
Yeah, little bummed out that a lot of the D tackles ended up flying off the board there. I was really hoping that one of that second wave of defensive tackles would be available to plug in there and help Byron Murphy in the future as some of our older linemen start to retire over the next couple of years here. But we'll see what John Schneider has up his sleeve here. I'm guessing Bills probably go receiver.
They need at least one.
Yeah.
they could use some. So I mean, the defensive tackles, like you said, we knew they'd be gone though. We knew that they're not gonna. They got pushed out of the first round a bit. There was rumors that there might be 2 that snuck into the first round. They don't. They get pushed back. McDonald being one of them right at the top there, and was it Lee? Right?
Yeah, Lee Hunter was one of the guys that I kind of dug, but
also kind of a big beefy, kind of a more like a one tech. All good. I mean, it is what it is, but we kind of knew picking 64th that good defensive tackles are not going to last. That's just the way it goes.
So this is why I think John Schneider was a little subdued last night, is without being able to trade back. He's talked about in the past when he's felt like he hasn't had many picks, just what torture it is to watch guys go off the board. And I think he was anticipating kind of what things would look like today as he sits and waits and tries to make his pick here at 64. I thought maybe he might trade up, just that was an argument I made a little earlier today when we went live. But and we have seen quite a bit of movement. There's been quite a few trades here in the second round.
Been quite a few trades. There are a lot of trades at the end of the first round. And, as we've watched some of these picks come off the board, I think the one that disappointed me the most was just seeing Boston go to the Browns. Like
he didn't deserve that.
I know.
What did he do wrong?
It's not fair.
Not a great place to go if you're a wide receiver. Hasn't been for a long time. So
wait, did you say not a great place to go if you're a football player
or just a human? All those things.
Yeah,
Cleveland rocks and all, but not really a football. So I did have Shane Turner just hit me up saying, "Are we still preggers for pregnant over here too?" So
Facebook. We just saw the ultrasound. It's gross. Yeah.
It's nearly time, boys.
It's nearly time.
Look, I mean,
are you due?
I'm like junior, right? So look, if we end up with a running back that we think is really good and a guard who we think could come in and start with limited capital, I would be very, very excited about that pick.
So other things we could look at potentially safety.
Yep.
I mean, that'd be something here. I know we did see a few of the safeties come off the board. We just saw Warren McNeil get picked up here just a few picks ago. I don't know who's available still at this point, but
safety looks like Halsey from LSU. You got Bud Clark from TCU.
It's a good safety name.
It's a nice name.
That dude's gonna be awesome.
Let's see, just scrolling through some of the players here. Just trying to find out where. Okay, there's Dunker. What is Pregnant earlier on this list?
I don't know, but he's certainly
Pregnant question is a tough one.
Oh yeah, there he is. And there, so you got Brazel for Tennessee.
I like Brazel.
Yes,
I think he's dropping for a reason.
Brazel, let's go.
Brazel. The Bills take Davison Igbinosun, I would say. I think a cornerback from the Ohio State once again. So okay, look, Bills defense was not very good this year. I'm a little. If I'm a Bills fan, I really want to get more stout in the run game. Against the run game, I should say, because they got run all over. And even if you have Josh Allen and you cannot stop the run, then you have a team with Josh Allen that is not going to win the playoffs.
Well, that's why you pick a corner at that spot there. I do have a question for Ohio State. Like, which other Ohio States are they differentiating themselves from with the? I've never been able to figure it out. Like, if somebody said Ohio State, I wouldn't have ever been confused. I've been like, oh, Buckeyes.
Like Ohio University, right?
Right. That's not Ohio State, though. Like, it's already got a differentiating word within it.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think it's some elitist. I think it's some elitist Ohio State bullshit. That's what I think it is. Oh, we're the Ohio State.
I think they're trying to call out all other universities that they're the only one with the.
They're the only one titled Ohio State. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Seahawks
Very prestigious.
are officially on the clock.
Oh boy.
We're still waiting for the Chargers pick. Okay. One guy that we talked about a little bit yesterday at corner who is still available, but because of injury,
McCoy?
Jermon McCoy.
Oh, dude, I would say
Tennessee.
McCoy.
That could be exciting.
So for those that are watching, you should probably know McCoy by now, but this is a dude that if he was not injured, and pretty much had to take a lot of time off now this year, that he was going to be like a top 10 pick overall. Like if 2024 happened, he went to the draft, like this dude's a top 10 pick and very likely CB1 off the board.
What was the injury?
I think a knee. I want to say a knee.
All right. Something guys come back from.
I think it's a knee. But yeah, man, I mean, as Super Bowl champs, if you want to take a flyer on a dude that might need a little more time to simmer, okay. Like that's an end, quote unquote, high value position. You pay a lot of money for corners. Not bad to get a young one who is exceptional just like a year ago.
Couple edge players that are still there. Barham from Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
You got Crawford from Auburn. Joshua Josephs from Tennessee. Romello Height from Texas Tech, and Denai Dennis Sutton from Penn State. LT Overton from Alabama, a guy who we talked to Brent Taylor about.
That's right.
And Nate Shute saying ACL and some further issues and supposedly some character minor concerns.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if they say so.
Right.
Like, that's one of those things, like, as fans, we're just left in the dark about. You hear these things. Oh, he's got character, or he's got this, got that. I mean, Laramie Tunsil had character issues and bong mask, and like still managed to play starting left tackle in the league for over a decade and was pretty good at it.
I still feel that was a plant.
You think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. To push him down the board. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Worked.
Yeah. Dolphins are dirty. We all know it was the Dolphins.
Chargers are up there. We'll see what's going on here. That man, what's his face?
Manti Te'o?
Yeah, Manti Te'o. That's him. Yeah.
Oh,
Or he just did the junior.
He just did the Merriman. No, this is Merriman.
Oh, that's Merriman.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't have the audio on, people, and I could barely see at this age. So
Oh yeah, with the sunglasses on, like the polarized, like I see about every other letter on the screen. It blocks the other one out. It's really cool.
Chargers take Jake Slaughter from UF from Florida, a center. So okay, Harbaugh beefing up his line there.
Man of his word.
Probably smart to protect the quarterback because you have a good one, and keeping him upright is smart.
Yeah, and I think this year the Chargers should go into the season with 30 offensive linemen on the roster with the rate they lost them last year.
Yeah, that was brutal season for them.
it must be a lot of centers just kind of generally in this area. Connor Liu coming off an injury, but he's kind of the top ranked center. Sam Hecht from Kansas State still out there on the board. Brian Parker from Duke. So still quite a few higher ranked centers. In fact, the top ranked center still on the board if the Seahawks decided to go that way. We want to look at guard, don't we?
Any word if the pick is in by anybody watching? Oh, there it is, right on the board.
Yeah, pick is in.
I guess you just have to say words. Okay, so then Emmanuel Pregnon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Clint's just
We
manifesting
got the green
things over here.
banner
Yeah, I
for the
know.
Oregon.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
it'll
Yeah,
be,
there you go. That's smart.
Yeah.
Here I am thinking it's for alt emerald jerseys, but
Oh
you
no,
were
we're
on
gonna
it.
go to commercial
Of
now
course.
because of course.
Still as Super Bowl champions, you're still doing that stuff.
Still doing
Why
that
would
to
you
us.
break tradition?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
because you have the Browns and you have the Jets and you have the
That are all
Falcons.
east of the Mississippi,
Fine.
which means they matter. And we
Not
don't.
to me, they don't.
Yeah.
Top two guards available: Emmanuel Pregnon, Jennings Dunker.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's go. I mean, is Basanta still? Is he still here too?
No, he got
I don't-
drafted earlier.
Did
this round.
he?
He did.
Yeah, he went to the
Okay.
Cardinals.
Okay. All right. Hey.
It was like the
all right.
second pick of the.
Okay.
the
Well,
round.
that's nice. Pick Cardinals. I like him. But
Well, hey, you got to save money somewhere after you pay the running back for him all that money. So
All right, if we went linebacker like Earl suggested, we've got Kyle Lewis from Pitt.
Kyle
Got Jimmy Roller from Michigan.
and Kyle Lewis was
Michigan
a 30
linebacker.
visit, I believe, guys. I think he was in town for a 30 visit,
Okay.
I believe.
Caleb Elarms, or I'm not familiar with Caleb. Deontay Lawson, Alabama. Who? What did Brent say about? Yeah, I think he was mid on him.
well, we're kind of at that point in the draft where most people are kind of mid on a lot
Yeah, I
of these
suppose.
guys, right? Especially this year. So see how it goes here. I wonder if they're gonna-
Ryan 911 saying, Clinton, you have to feature teams like the Jets during the offseason. That's when they do their best work.
Fair point there, Ryan. They keep win the offseason, boys, don't they? Yeah.
Hey, they are the only time they're relevant off season.
All right. Any other positions we want to take a look at before we get back to the pick
Kicker.
here?
I want to go kicker.
You
in
want
the
to go
second round.
kicker?
Yeah, we need a backup kicker for Jason Myers.
Well,
How about Trey Smack from Florida?
he's got the name.
Yeah,
The name you know.
Smacks Trays. Like
Yeah.
it's a perfect name for
I
a
like
kicker.
that.
Yeah,
How about Edge? Do we look at Edge already?
I think I did look at Edge already. But
yeah, he did. He went through the edge, guys.
Yeah. Barham Crawford.
Oh, yeah, we did that. Yep.
Number of those guys came off the board here in the second round.
Yep. All right. Well,
Uh-oh.
I think.
Nate
what's-
saying you guys aren't going to like this.
You guys aren't going
Don't
to
tell
like
me what
this.
I'm gonna do.
Well, there's only a few things I wouldn't like. So that's interesting.
We got Phil saying, what about McCoy?
I mean, I would like McCoy.
Yeah.
So, but if Nate says we're not going to like
Look at all those
this-
happy 12s. They're just champions. Look at them being champions there at the draft.
It's hard not to be happy when you're a champion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easy living.
The championship fans. They're amazing. Good job, 12s. It's next level beard from this dude
Yeah,
on
that-
NFL
that-
Network
that-
here.
that's-
Nate saying, well, maybe I'm projecting. But maybe it's a name that we haven't really talked about yet. Are we going to running back again? Maybe that would be something that we would.
That'd be fun.
That'd be interesting. It'd be something to talk about.
Look, I mean, I'm literally at the point with John Schneider now with the last few drafts and winning a second chip and all that, where it's like, whatever he does is just kind of like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes. It's difficult to get upset about it. All right, who do we have announcing the pick?
Well, Nate is in the future.
Is Nate in the future? Or you got
it's
Ryan saying Bud Clark safety, but I don't know if he's saying that's who we should pick or if that's who we've already taken.
Okay, I bet you
I think we
that's
threw out Bud's name.
we
Though,
did.
didn't
We said his great name.
And we need
There
to
it
save
is.
him.
Future Hall of Famer Bud Clark. Let's go.
Cool. I like my was it Horned Frogs, right? TCU? Yeah. Okay. Ball hawk. Cool. Nickel safety flex. I think that's
another one of those guys.
That's all you kind of need to know. All right.
I didn't go deep into my Bud Clark tape.
You didn't this year?
No. And the good news is that as we're doing this live, the tablet decides to freeze up. So as we're watching his his highlights here, so what I can say is that a couple steps into every rep, he's looking good.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Look,
Looks like he's got some ball skills. Yeah.
positional wise, I think this. Hey, never wrong going up the spine, getting better and deeper there. And if this is a dude that has positional flexibility, where they're like, oh, he can come down the box, he can play safety, he can play. When we're in the 5-2 or what really becomes a 4-3 with the Imuwari stuff. Okay. This is going to be, they seem happy. He looks like an athlete. I like the positional flexibility. John looks pumped. What can I say? I'm in.
You expected they would probably go defense after going offense, balance it out a little bit. And Jason Turner saying another position of need selection. So
because BPA doesn't actually exist. So let's
right.
finally recognize that.
But you go fill a position of need with K9 leaving. Now you fill a position of need with Kobe leaving. So
yeah, BNPA, best needed player available. Pretty good. Yeah, exactly. You lose Kobe Bryant, and you're going to need some guys there. The only guy that doesn't like this pick, I think, is Nate and Ty Okada.
Right. Yeah. Ty Okada not impressed. All right, 911 saying I'll take it. Our secondary is a weapon. Nate's saying Mike loves flexibility.
He does.
And
that's, he craves that,
He's
right?
a big yoga fan.
Marlon saying with Spoon, E-Man, and Bud, who's the safety and who's playing corner? Spoon. Spoon's a corner.
Yeah. I thought you were saying Spoon's a safety. I was like, that'd be the last one I'd pick.
Oh.
Yeah. I probably put Spoon out at corner.
Cardinals are back on the clock. They've front loaded. They've got lots of picks.
Since there's no Cardinals fans at the draft, NFL Network is showing a Pats fan during the Arizona Cardinal pick. I love this. Oh, they're saluting some service.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, as the pick is in, wow, Brissett was 1-11 as a starter.
And the Cards thought, better option than Kyler Murray.
Yep.
And they're right.
And Brissett is
at 1-11.
Likely going to hold out a bit. He wants to be paid as a lower level starter, but he wants more money. So there's a threat.
I don't know how many times he's had actual leverage in his professional life as a football player. So I don't blame him, but also too, no.
All right. So here is the analysis from Lance Zerline. NFL.com, a 6th-year senior. Clark Straits won't pop, but his tape most certainly will. Clark is a coverage versatile safety in a cornerback's body with the talent to range over the top or man up in the slot. He plays with an overriding desire to do everything all at once, which produces spectacular takeaways and occasional breakdowns. But the good outweighs the bad. He triggers downhill and run support and tackles with proper technique. That sounds about right. But a lack of size could lead to broken tackles / durability concerns. He might need time to acclimate to the speed / skill of his opponents, but his instincts and ball skills give him a good chance to punish mistakes on the next level as an alignment flexible option.
He's going to have 7 picks of Ty Simpson over the next 5 years. That's my prediction right there. Look, if you honestly took Bud Clark's name and erased it off the top of that scouting report and wrote in Kobe Bryant, pretty close.
He 6-year senior. They're called doctors.
Doctors, yeah.
Super senior.
Yep, he took his time, and why not, right? And when you're in school and you're probably getting NIL money to hang out in school and play football down in Texas, you do those things. You take advantage of that. So, but welcome to the PNW. I'm excited for that pick.
I bet you Earl's fired up for it.
I bet he is.
Texas safety.
Look, it's just also we all know Ty Okada played. We're like, hey, Okada played well, and in some instances played even better than Kobe did at some points. And the other part is true that there's not a lot of depth there really, and this is going to challenge a dude who might be a starter in Ty Okada. He could be a good starter, or now he gets challenged. So that's it in a nutshell, in my opinion.
Okay, so I think why Nate was saying that we might not like it though is because we had 2 offensive linemen who we've been talking up.
Well, that I understand.
For 2 straight days, both available there.
Yeah.
Look, here's the thing. If this was 2 years ago, I would have thrown this microphone out into the Puget Sound. Like, that would have pissed me off in ways I could barely put into words. But since we adjusted guard last year, seriously, and the offensive line performed well all year, well enough to win a Super Bowl, I mean, it's hard to get mad.
And it's John Schneider, who refuses generally to draft offensive linemen early.
Yeah.
It would have been nice. It would have been exciting. And
it's just difficult to ask him to do that like back-to-back years.
It's okay. It's okay. And the name Bud Clark is a cool name. So that goes a long way with me.
Absolutely.
I'm an NFL scout.
Phil saying, guess we were comfortable with our number 3 corner currently. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So that's why Nate was saying, and now he gets to intercept Carson Beck
as well. But Clark is now literally, I know I said it jokingly at the beginning of the pick here, future Hall of Famer. He is going to be a future Hall of Famer with Carson Beck and Ty Simpson eventually throwing passes in the NFC West on the regular. That's 4 games a year. He can have 10 picks just out of those 4 games every year.
I just don't understand. Like, why not build your team and then just next year go maybe double down on quarterback or something? But like, this is not a very good quarterback class. And Carson, speaking of like 6-year seniors, he's like 29 years old, this guy. And my, oh my, okay. Fine, Cardinals. You have a lot of picks, so you feel you want to take a shot. We took a shot last year with Milrow. Maybe they feel similarly that we're taking a shot with Beck because we have a lot of picks. I understand it, but
a high third rounder though, for a guy that, I mean, I can't tell you how underwhelming this guy's tape is. Like, they're always going to show, like, they've had to go back to different colleges to show you.
He played in 17 colleges. So
yeah, exactly. In his 42 years in college, why he refused to grow up. Look, I can't understand what the hell the Cardinals are doing. Oh man, poor Marvin Harrison. Like, gets drafted there, has to play with Chance the Rapper Jr. And then they had to deal with Brisket, and Carson Beck is his hope. Carson Beck, you're our only hope. They're screwed. The poor Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, well, the thing with Carson Beck is that the Cardinals won't be good this year again. And like Sam Gilbert's saying, Arch Manning on the cards next year. So Beck will be backing up Arch Manning.
Yeah, that's why you burn the pick this year is for your pick that you're going to use next year.
Yeah.
Just light it on
doing
fire.
Cardinals things.
Yeah. I can't understand these teams that take guys that are borderline backups at best anywhere before the 6th round. Like, is it just a FOMO thing? Is that what it is?
I don't know. But, every now and again they work out or look like they might, like a Tyler Shuck looked okay at the end of last year, and maybe he'll work out. We'll see.
Okay.
But that was still a fifth.
Yeah.
Right? I think Shuck was
he was a later round
which
pick.
is different than a third.
Yeah. I think
third.
he was 29 years old as well. Like when he came out. Yeah.
Also a doctor.
And honestly, look, I wasn't huge on Shuck when he came out, right? And it was because when pressure became intense for him, he just started chucking things out into the air. Like, he just didn't care. Shucker the chucker, right? But the arm talent is definitely there with Tyler Shuck. Mm-hmm. He does have the size, right? Yep. You watch Carson Beck's film and, like, there's just not NFL traits. There's not. Like, he's the quintessential college quarterback. I mean, if you like Quinn Ewers, Carson Beck's your guy.
I agree.
All right. Nate saying Clint Kubiak on the clock. Cool. I liked Dark's comments saying never interrupt your enemies from making mistakes.
Yes, sir.
Yep. I like that a lot. Very true.
Bill saying Cards should only be drafting offensive line. That would make sense.
Yep.
Oh my God, yeah, because Pregnon and Dunker were available there.
Yeah. There's dudes right there that help you tomorrow.
Oh my goodness.
Phil saying, are we okay with our cornerback 3 right now? And I would say draft not quite over. And I just wonder,
not quite over too,
how far McCoy might drop.
I know
he could be there at the end of we could potentially see him at the end of the 3rd round now.
Well, and it's a great question by Phil too, because for me the answer is I'm not comfortable if the room right now is like, all right, Pritchett's the 3rd right now, something like that. So, okay. I absolutely also.
Or Igbenogany, who they.
Okay.
signed.
Yes. And yes. And let's get a little more competition in there because folks, we know, good folks, good flockers. They're like, I think they gravitate and they hold on to that Pritchett play, the great play in the end zone versus was it Marvin Harrison, right?
Yeah.
Junior. Great play. So it shows amazing athleticism. That was one of the most beautiful plays by a DB in a while. And yet it's a play. And he played better down the stretch, but there were also times where he came in and then he was like immediately picked on. So I need to see more. So I'm not comfortable yet in the cornerback room. But again, draft's not over.
I mean, of all the position groups on this team, though, that I look at, specifically John, and Mike's carried on the tradition from Pete, it's corner. Like, I really, how comfortable I am with it, as comfortable as Mike and John are. Like, whatever it is they say there, I'm 1,000% fine with. 1,000%. And if they don't come away with a dude in the draft, like, where did they get Josh Jobe?
The trash heap.
The trash heap. They've taken corners from the Pats a couple times off the trash heap. Like, they can go out and manufacture a guy. And maybe at the end of the day, too, they have seen him practice Nehemiah actually like growing in ways that we don't see.
For sure.
Maybe our boy Shamar gets out there and plays well, like whatever it is they feel like they can do there, I'm fine with. Also, too, with this year specifically, it's not like this defensive line has gone anywhere. And you make a lot of corners look real good when you have that sort of defensive line and generating that kind of pressure with Mike McDonald's scheme.
Comment in chat saying from Nate, still surprised we stuck and picked both times.
I am not. I thought yesterday late, it was evidence that that Mike or John really wanted to trade out. He said as much, right? He didn't hide it. I thought with the players that were available at 32, that it was more likely than not, as the draft went on, that Seattle would make a pick. Now, it seems like they kind of defaulted into that. It wasn't exactly what they intended to do, but maybe, just maybe, John is like, hey, maybe he really likes Bud Clark and he thinks he's got a guy there, and he's afraid that if he, squanders it or moves back, he's gonna risk walking away with a guy he really liked. So I just had a feeling that all the talk was about trading back, and I was like, well, maybe they're gonna zig when everybody thinks they're gonna zag, because I feel that the value to trade back this year is depressed versus usual years.
Yeah, it's still, John likes to have more picks.
He does.
Even if you are losing a little bit of value, you're gaining some value in having an extra pick in the draft, but he always does well in undrafted free agency too.
Yeah.
Yokai Hawk, a member for 19 months. So given what has and has not transpired, do we expect to land Miller, Fowler, or both?
I mean, so Von Miller, Dante Fowler, Jr., or both. Adam, what do you think? Got to choose one.
You would probably need to land both the corpse of Von Miller and underwhelming Dante Fowler to make one competent NFL player.
I'll take underwhelming Dante Fowler.
Me too. I'll take Fowler. I think he's a little bit more well-rounded than Von Miller at this point in their careers. And again, where you're saying, hey, if I'm going to trust Mike to do anything, and pull stuff out of his what, then it's going to be the DBs. Okay, I'm very, very similar, but for me, it's edges, because we've seen it before. We've seen it with the Ravens, and it's been on repeat now that he finds either journeymen or just dudes who are good NFLers, and he gets a last squeeze out of them. Might be a year or two, but he gets a good squeeze, and they matter to the team.
Those players, good to the last drop.
Yeah.
Phil's calling a shot, saying we are getting Fowler.
I like it, Mr. Phil.
Nate Schutz saying so many Letterkenny memes coming this season. Is that a Bud reference?
With Bud Clark?
Bud Clark.
Oh, just hey, Bud. They use Bud a lot, I guess.
Could be. I love Letterkenny.
You guys were the Letterkenny
guys.
Yeah, I know.
So
I was looking for some help here.
Well, let Nate tell us what you mean, Nate. That's it's more like there's no Stewart. Like if it was Stewart, then it's
I don't know. Maybe he's a DGen. I have no idea.
We got Lisa in the chat saying, rest of the NFL learned you never trade with Schneider when death is on the line.
Maybe true. Although, to kind of piggyback on what Nate was saying earlier about trading out, I'm actually slightly surprised that we didn't trade out of this second, because just the amount of disappointment we heard from John at the end of one.
Yeah.
And then watching the market during the second round here, there's a lot of action. You know, teams were trading up and trading back, and like, so there were trade partners to be had.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not those trade partners were out when you got all the way down to 64, hard telling, not knowing. But at the end of the day, it surprises me slightly.
Yeah, I think it was more likely than not that it was going to happen. If the odds would have said that a trade in the first two was more likely than no trades in the first two. And, you know, maybe there's just enough dudes still there where they're like, okay, even with our third pick, they're like, hey, we believe as they take Bud Clark, I'm sure they're sitting in that room going, hey, in 32 more picks, because we won the Super Bowl, in 32 more picks, one of these four guys is going to be there. And we like, you know, if these four dudes are there, we are happy with any of them. That's probably how they're, you know, calculating things, I imagine.
All right, looking at the Ringers scouting report for Bud Clark, they have him ranked very highly in ball skills and instincts.
Gotta have good ball skills.
And good and cover skills and run support.
I would like those to be higher. I would like to invert that.
You would like all of them to be as high as possible.
What I love is you were like, oh, he's got great ball skills. He's good in coverage, good in run defense. What else does a friggin' safety do? That sounds great.
6'1", 31.5-inch arms, 188 pounds, and ran a 4.41. So
grades still pop off the screen.
That's a little faster than
safety.
Yeah, that's faster than Kobe ever was.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
And Kobe was a good athlete, but I think the 4.41 is a little bit poppier.
I think Kobe made up for a smidge less athleticism than most dudes with his brain, like very heady play.
Yeah. Very good player. Kept everything in front of him.
Yeah.
Was kind of taught that way also, I think, in the beginning with Pete. And remember, you know, to give some love to the dearly departed Kobe, he got bounced around. He came in as a boundary corner. They tried him at nickel, and it didn't really fit. Then he finally made his way to safety, and he made a really good carving for himself. So,
yeah,
good luck out there with the Bears, dude.
All right. So this is McShay's takeaway on Bud Clark. Clark is a versatile playmaker with a strong frame and a good top-end speed, recognizes route combinations, breaks on the ball well, and jumps routes and off coverage. His balance and quickness allow him to match up in the slot, and he can turn and run. And the projection down at the bottom, this is where it gets interesting to me. Clark will likely start his NFL career as a number 3 safety with the potential to develop as a starter early in his career. A potential comp is the Bears' Kobe Bryant, a college corner who moved to safety in the NFL. Bryant didn't test as well as Clark coming out of college, but they have similar frames and are both instinctive playmakers. So there you go. Comping to Kobe Bryant.
There we go.
Before we even got him.
Yeah, exactly.
So
hey, that was from Daniel Jeremiah?
That was from McShay.
McShay? Okay. Who I also respect. I just like Jeremiah a little bit more. So,
and I think the interesting part is, you know, we're clearly replacing need in the first two picks because BPA is not actual. And you take a $14 million back and you replace it with a rookie contract with Price, and you take a $20 million safety and now replace that with a rookie contract with your new safety. So
stats last season, 56 tackles, 7 pass breakups, 4 interceptions. And Tapwater saying 15 INTs. I'm thinking that might be college career, but in 6 years, that seems low.
That was in 6 years?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like easy.
You got to figure like at least one of them was.
I'm just going. Tapwater posted 15 INTs in chat, and so I'm just reading it. Gotcha. I'm like Anchorman. Put something up there, and I'll read it.
You have any words for San Diego?
Go after yourself.
Okay.
All right, Niners are up now. I think the Bears just took Roush, tight end, which interesting again because they have tight ends, but sure. But hey, Bears are building a pretty good team. I believe I'm going to predict right now that we will see the Bears that Wednesday night football game to kick the season off. I would almost guarantee it's going to be Bears at Seattle to kick off the NFL season. If the NFL would like that, but
we're going to see the guard. We're going to see the Niners take one of these guards that we wanted.
Probably. Now. It's gonna be very that'll get.
They're having a punter announce a draft pick.
I was gonna tell you this pick is doomed.
Okay, they go with the edge. Romello Height from Texas Tech. Okay, so a name that's certainly been out there at this point for me. Lots of edges are off the board. There's some hype about Height, but at the same time, if you're the Niners, and yes, maybe they have to build some speed on the outside. They drafted some beef last year. with some back-to-back defensive tackles. They beefed that up, CJ West being one of them. Maybe they figured they got to go get a little faster on the outside again. Bosa's not getting any younger. Absolutely. With all that said, I'm happy they didn't go take one of the good guards because their offensive line is fine. It's not even that good. And their best player at tackle is getting very old.
Yeah, the fact that they didn't try to address tackle at all in this draft is fairly interesting to me. Also,
they're only 2 picks in.
Huh?
This is their 3rd pick.
Yeah, no, this is their 2nd pick. They picked the wide receiver, and then I think this is their next pick. Or have they picked it?
No, they had a pick at like 58 or something.
Okay, but watching the Niner fan melt down over the wide receiver pick was hilarious.
No, it was good.
Yeah, that was fun too. Yeah, I would have been a little more bummed out if they had tried to address offensive line. Kyle Shanahan clearly thinks he's too smart for that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, good luck to you. They'll be battling out with the Cards for last place in the division.
Look, Brock Purdy's good until he gets very. I think Brock Purdy is a good NFL quarterback. I do think he's good. When he gets heated up, which happened quite a bit down the stretch, and certainly the last 2 games he played Seattle, he becomes a very, in my opinion, he drops dramatically to pretty mediocre. In my opinion, like a mid-level quarterback. Still something. Most guys do. But I think you have to have a bit more of a perfect scenario or close to perfect for Brock to really, really shine consistently. Versus like Sam, to take it there for a second, in the NFC Championship and then the second game versus the Rams on the Thursday Night Football, things were not perfect. And Sam elevated beyond that and made the throws that was going toe-to-toe with Matt Stafford. I have not seen Brock Purdy do that when he's under the kind of duress that Sam was under those nights.
All right. So, to go back to the Niners, Romello Height was only their 2nd pick, so they must have traded back again. And they have one more 3rd coming up at number 90. They have 4 4th-round picks at 107, 127, 133, and 139, and then a 5th rounder.
Is it like reverse F them picks?
Yes. I mean, that's exactly what that is. Yeah.
They want to own the 4th round.
Yeah. I mean, geez, what is that? So 8 out of 32 is a quarter. So they have 12.5% of the picks in the 4th round. If there's not comps.
There are comps.
All right. Well, then,
so
sorry. My math was
to,
awesome.
You're not going to be able to do that math.
12.5%ish. It's fine. Commanders having a nice draft. In my opinion, they've stacked some good picks back to back. They're up on the clock. They need to get younger. They need to get faster. I realize that's what you do in the draft typically, but there's key positions. They started off with Sonny Styles, which, hey man, if you're a young man, then you get to go in and just kind of learn from Bobby Wagner how to go play NFL football while you're a really good linebacker already.
Bobby's under contract, is he?
I don't even know.
Yeah. I don't know, but they've loaded up at linebacker. I mean, they brought in Leo Chenal. They just were showing on the screen here.
So maybe Bobby will be gone.
as well. So yeah.
Well, they did need to get a lot faster and younger because, again, they had that NFC Championship run, which was very much on the back of the league not knowing what to do with Jaden Daniels, and Jaden Daniels being very good, but being like, we don't know what to do with this guy just yet. Takes a little time to figure out some new talent like that. And it was still very evident, though, that when the coach went back into a pumpkin in that championship game, that it was like, oh, they're slow. And then they had a really weird offseason last year where they go like trade high picks and go get like Debo.
Yeah.
Like late chubby Debo. I was like, what are we doing? That's not going to help Terry.
No. That was them like loading up as if they thought they had a significant chance to go out and make another run. I think it's difficult when you're that close to your own team to realize, oh, that was a lightning in the bottle season rather than, oh, we're just a player or two away. And I think that's what got Washington last year. And the best thing is that watching Les Snead like overreact to that kind of thing, where that wasn't lightning in the bottle for the Rams last year. Good football team.
Yeah.
Legitimately like another starter or two away from being even more competitive with the Seahawks, and kicks the can down the road and pisses off Sean McVay. So
I think the difference for like a team that's doing it perhaps differently this year, the Patriots were lightning in a bottle this year to even get to the Super Bowl. Then they got smacked by the Seahawks. Cool.
And Diana Rossini.
And with that, and with that, their draft has been a lot of trenches.
Yeah.
So they're not chasing these shiny things that they think are the cherry on top. They're like, no, we had a very good year, but we really outkicked who we were, and we still need to build. Whereas the Commanders were like, we're really close. We need a couple cherries. Like, no, dude, you need a different like scoop of ice cream. Like,
Right.
You need a different base. But I think they are having a nice draft so far, and they're about to make a selection here in the third round.
All right, Commanders up. Yes, Bobby Wagner is a free agent. He's I feel like he's just a few tackles away from some kind of major record. Like he's just I don't know, like 7 or 8 games behind Ray Lewis or something like that in terms of tackles.
Right.
And
You'll find a way to play those games. Then
find a way.
Yeah,
We'll find a way.
I could see him setting that as a Miami Dolphin next to Jordan Brooks.
Of the CFL, Miami Dolphins.
Exactly.
Although the Dolphins drafted that one, the dude from, was it New Mexico State?
Oh, the dude with the amazing mustache.
Oh yeah.
No, Texas Tech, I think.
Either
Was it?
way,
Yeah.
the stash was so good. That was a great stash.
Whatever. It was the top ranked stash in the entire draft.
Oh, absolutely. NFL Network, we've been watching this, and every time they start listing their traits, it seems like almost every time the first trait is like, he's really fast! Exclamation point. Like there's always an exclamation point. Like, great mustache! Exclamation point.
Yeah, Jacob Rodriguez, Texas Tech.
There we go. Jacob Rodriguez. There he is. All right, long introduction by this Commanders person, whoever this is. Can't tell.
I don't know, but it's time to give it up, bud.
It's too much.
This isn't about you.
Hit the gong. Let's play him off. Play him off. Start the Oscar music. Let's go.
Oh my God, he's still going.
Should they lose their pick at this point? That'd be great. Too long.
It's just a buzzer goes up.
No pick for you. He's still talking. He's waving his hand. Oh, there it is. Okay. Wide receiver, Antonio Williams from Clemson. Okay. Look, the Commanders need some help outside for sure. I don't know if this is the answer, but I do know that they need to help that room because it is not the strong suit of that team right now.
Yeah, just watching a few of his highlights here. Looks like he could be more of a slotty kind of guy.
I'm not high on some of these wide receivers, and there's nobody that excites me anymore.
Skylar Bell from UConn. Kind of interest you in Skylar Bell?
No.
Do you want a dude who's good?
No. Here's the thing, Clinton.
If he's from UConn and you're telling me he's good.
Oh, well, there's those strikes. And then there's also, I will never, ever, ever trust a football player named Skylar.
That's tough. That's not a great first name for a
Not a wide
footballer.
receiver name.
No.
Yeah. But he does have ginormous
If I'm
hands.
going basically just on name, I go Jacoby Lane because I know a dude with an apostrophe in his name.
That's pretty cool. You sound fast.
Although Deshaun Stribling also has
Ted
that,
Hurst.
and he went to the Niners.
Ted Hurst getting lots of buzz from
you got a
what's it,
50-50
GTAC, right?
shot.
Okay, well, it's going to be a wide receiver would be an area that I would be interested taking a dip. I think I don't know what's up with Torrey Horton's shin knee.
Yeah,
I hope it's very healthy because he was explosive and off to a damn good start. But
the thing is that it's compounding on top of the injuries that he had in college, right?
yes,
And when you're kind of getting to that point, you start thinking about, hey man, health is a part of talent, and Torrey Horton's fantastic. Like I was so excited about that draft pick last year. Thought it was an absolute steal. Started to look that way, and then it's tough to hear like shin injury and then just not see him for 8 games.
Yeah,
I don't know.
El Trowel checking in saying, "What's up, everyone? How are we feeling?" We've got Nate Schutz saying Bud Clark said his idol at safety was Cam Chancellor. That's the correct answer.
Yes, Bud Clark.
Obviously different body type, but that answer makes me like him a lot. No, we were listening to a little Jadarian Price and on the Brock and Salk show this morning, and he was asked about his idol at running back, and the correct answer would have been Marshawn Lynch, but he went Adrian Peterson, which is also an acceptable answer.
Yeah, not bad. That was a great interview, by the way. So if folks want to go check that out on Brock and Salk. Extremely just he to me is like, okay, I need some words here.
Chris Carson.
I just enjoyed watching. Yeah, I like Chris Carson. He just sounded like he understands the game and understands what he has to go do. And I realize that's tough from an interview, but Go listen to it. Go hear how he phrases things and his thought. He's very.
He's a domer.
Exactly. He's at Notre Dame. Obviously, a better speaker than I am at this point. But
I'm trying to say he's smart. He's trying to use words to say.
Remember when I said like I don't like a lot of words for websites?
Yeah.
He sounds damn smart. He just sounds really smart and crisp. I was trying to get at.
Yeah.
It's crisp, concise, and he's intentful.
Hey, with him there, that running back room is going to thrive. So, anyways, have we decided or heard officially? Is it Darian or Darian?
Darian, yeah,
for sure.
So, yeah,
Darian.
He said it today. Yeah, Darian
doesn't sound right. He says his own name wrong.
Darian. Yeah,
it's like Tavares.
Yeah, which is Tavares. Still is.
So it'll be easy for you to remember because you always got Tavares' name correct.
That's right. And this one I will get wrong every time. I promise you right now, and I will do my best.
Darian.
Yeah.
But
Darian.
It doesn't roll quite as it's not as punchy, but that's okay. Just go on Price.
Just go Price.
Just go Price.
Pricey Price.
Go, Price with the 4-yard gain. Price with the 6-yard gain. Price into the end zone.
You get to be really good friends with him. He said his friends call him JD.
Oh, very good. Okay. Well, we just need to start a relationship and hit it off, and I'm sure it'll go swimmingly, and then I'll call him JD. Yeah.
Well, you were holding hands with Thomas Rawls at dinner last night. So.
Yeah, we did. And we had a moment, and I appreciated it. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, fun conversation. Oscar Delp goes off the board to the Saints, who need a tight end and a good-looking tight end. Bit of a run there. So I always find that tight end to me has been one of the most interesting evolutions in football because they've really become like, what flavor of tight end do you like? And I have a very certain flavor. He's called AJ Barner. So that's the tight end I like. But Delp, I think, is a nice pick for New Orleans. I just frankly like what New Orleans is doing as an organization. I think they're turning things around.
Who were they showing highlights of here just a second ago on NFL Network? Because they were lacrosse highlights. And if you're a fan base and you're having to watch lacrosse highlights about your 3rd-round pick, it's time to get a little nervous.
Hey, you know who else played lacrosse?
No.
Jim Brown. Jim Brown.
Lacrosse hadn't been invented when Jim Brown was
Jim
alive.
Brown's considered the best lacrosse player of all time.
I didn't see any tape of it.
All right. So we are at round 3, pick 74. Seahawks coming up at 94, 96.
Yeah, 96, I think.
So we're still a ways off.
Another Golden Domer just goes here. Malachi Fields from Notre Dame goes to the Giants. Another wide receiver. Big dude, 6'4.5", 220, doing his best Odell. So it makes sense he's going to the Giants. And this is a team with the Giants that they need. That wide receiver room is not. It's pedestrian on pedestrian. It's not very good. Besides Neighbors.
What?
Besides Neighbors, who's coming off a knee injury, and they lost Wandale Robinson. Wandale, who is a.
They should have traded for T. Higgins.
You were on that. You were on that early.
But, all the who's.
But Malachi Fields, another Notre Dame guy, heading to the Giants, which is cool.
Well, he can go and be delightfully average there, just like every other wide receiver for the Giants the last couple of years. And then Clinton, in about 2 years, I look forward to hearing your scouting report telling me that he's a future Hall of Fame.
Well, the dude's height alone is like, usually I fall a little smitten. I won't say in love, but I like the Wandale Robinsons. But I also recognize it's because it's like volume horizontal stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And when you go pay volume horizontal guys $25-30 million, I'm like, something's out of whack.
Right.
But, this guy Malachi here for them, a much bigger guy, downfield threat. We'll see. Those are always, in my opinion, difficult if it's not like if you can't separate on the college level, it doesn't get easier when you get to the NFL.
Marlon asking, so what are you 3 hoping for on our next pick? You threw out your UConn wide receiver.
But that's okay. I want guard.
Would you be happy with that?
I was going to say the guards are still there.
The guards are still there.
All the guards are still there, right? So, and that could even mean Bo Stevens from Iowa still being there as well.
Is he still on the board?
Yeah, Bo's still there, right? Because the center went, but I'm pretty
Any
sure.
defensive tackles that might still be here. You got Dominique Orange from Iowa State. You got Xavier Harris from Mississippi, who's still be available.
Is Big Citrus still around?
I don't recognize him by his nickname.
Exactly. Well, I mean, you just type in Big Citrus. I'm sure that they can't actually put his real name on there, right?
With a name like Big Citrus, he's off the board.
Isn't he like 467 pounds or something like that?
Dominique
Orange. Oh, okay.
Dominic
Yeah.
Orange. Well, that makes
Iowa State.
sense.
Yeah, the orange, big citrus.
There we go. Okay, I thought
makes-
this.
Yeah, you
isn't he a
remember
Miami
that, huh?
guy?
Yeah. Was that?
Isn't he a Miami guy?
He was. I thought it was Florida. No,
Iowa.
Iowa. Iowa too.
Iowa State.
Okay, he's a Cyclone.
Okay.
Cyclone. Okay, good. All right, he's a Cyclone with Seneca Wallace. That's nice lineage.
So is that your guy?
Sure.
you wanna
Just
go
because the
guard?
nickname would be hilarious. That'd be a
Yeah,
lot of
big
fun.
fun.
citrus is a lot of fun. It's fun.
And he seems like a guy that would be what, just like straight up nose.
Big boy, beefy,
Yeah.
beef, middle beef,
Exactly.
Daryl Jackson Jr.
junior.
Oh, son of our Daryl Jackson.
I don't know.
I don't know. We need to look into this though.
I've seen the
Is he
name
a wide
a lot.
receiver?
No, he's
a-
defensive
he's a
tackle.
DT.
Whoa.
He's big
Maybe.
boy.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe
Florida
Mama
State,
was big.
Florida State dude. I don't know. I heard the name a lot in the process, but I don't know if he was or is our wide receiver's son. I do not know.
But to be fair, both the name Daryl and
And
Jackson fairly common.
And junior.
Exactly.
To be fair.
To be fair.
Dolphins back up their picks in. Well, a lot of picks for the Dolphins. They are literally rebuilding, but we know we were having dinner and we're like, look what the Dolphins took. It was like, what was it? Tackle, linebacker, safety.
Why are we calling what we ate at 4:00 dinner?
All right, let's
Okay.
first dinner. How's that?
First dinner.
Dunch.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Lunner.
Letter.
Google is of no help on this Daryl Jackson father question.
Well,
I may have to rely on.
We need more data centers to find this out.
Is Daryl Jackson Jr. related to Daryl Jackson, son of Penny Jackson of Houston
and
Daryl Jackson?
Senior.
I was gonna tell you, wow.
Wow, Daryl
Mr.
Jackson Jr.'s dad is
Yeah.
Daryl Jackson Senior,
Mystery
guys.
solved, boys. Yeah.
Kind of feel like the answer is no. Then like you would think Daryl Jackson would have shown up by now.
Yeah.
Like our Daryl Jackson, who was a really good wide receiver. I really liked Daryl.
Oh,
Jackson.
absolutely. You didn't love DJ. There's something wrong with you.
Yeah. Great nickname.
Yeah.
Clutch.
Yeah.
Touchdown maker.
Yeah.
Big
Born
fan.
for the refs, Super Bowl champion.
But wasn't he also Daryl Jackson Jr.? Wasn't he from Florida? I want to
It's
say
good
it was like UF. Let's look this up because that will give us a clue. Because
We'll give us
This
the
is where coverage gets great when you start getting into the weeds of the late third round and all that
Let's
stuff.
look up what our former wide receiver.
What? I mean, the Dolphins are on the clock. Who cares?
About who?
Exactly.
Yeah. God, I hate this team so much. Who's announcing their?
Dwight Stevenson.
See, look at me.
Yeah, nobody
Daryl
cares.
Jackson played college football for the Florida Gators. So come on, that's a pretty good pull.
That's sweet. Yeah. Who's his dad?
Daryl Jackson, senior.
Super senior.
All right, another wide receiver off the board. It looks like, yep, Caleb Douglas from Miami. I can't say I know him, so I'm not going to pretend to do. Texas Tech, 6'3.5", but kind of skinny at that height. That is, but okay. Downfield threat looks like probably got some wheels.
Yeah, that was a great highlight. Nobody tried to cover him at all.
Yeah, absolutely. But hey, again, Dolphins need a lot. They are rebuilding.
Corner falls down and he has a big play. This guy's going to be awesome for them.
In the CFL.
Yeah. Well, he'll enjoy his time down on South Beach. That's for sure.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
Good times to be had.
Nate Schutz saying, I miss the Bengals picking Takario Davis.
Yeah,
That's a good
from
pick.
Washington. Yeah. Obviously some, the PNW folks gonna know him. He was throughout the drafts process, if you will. I saw lots of folks kind of calling out a lot of his flaws and saying that he would fall to this range. Okay, I didn't watch enough tape to be like how good Takario was or isn't, but I'm sure there's some UW fans that have an opinion. So love to hear it if you do.
Is he a killer of tacos, like a Sicario and a taco together? Tacario?
I don't know what that means.
You've never heard of a Sicario?
No.
I know the movie.
Oh yeah, it's basically like a hitman for the drunken toast.
Oh,
Yeah, you're Sicario.
gotcha.
So he slays tacos. Tacario.
Okay.
Look, man, third round. We haven't taken a break yet, so this is where we're
I
at.
think it is about time for a break, though.
Okay, we can do that. Yeah, because we're not up for 20 more picks, basically 18 more picks.
Yeah, 18 to 20 more picks.
Yeah.
All right. For those of you tuning in, appreciate you sticking around. We are going to take a break and come back. Let's say right around pick 90.
Yeah, we're gonna do maybe a claw, maybe a beer,
Yeah,
maybe something sweet.
Yeah.
maybe actual dinner.
Ooh, ready? Are you ready?
I don't know.
All right.
Oh, we can't do that. Clinton will get all twitchy at about pick 78 here. Be like, we got to get back. Run out of time.
Smokey saying that we should eat at the steakhouse. We have not eaten at the steakhouse.
Well, I gotta tell you this. Last year at the steakhouse, I had sushi at that steakhouse, and it was damn good.
Yeah. I don't remember what I had, but I remember it was good.
You had a burger.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you remember.
I do.
What else have I eaten on this trip?
This trip, I could rattle it all off.
Oh no.
All right. So as Sam's
where's
saying,
Drew Aller go? He's going
Drew
to.
Aller going to Pittsburgh.
Okay.
That makes sense. Penn State guy, big arm. It's mid-third round. To me, this is when you take a flyer on a quarterback that has arm talent to actually make it in the NFL.
And he does. He has legit arm talent, and I could see him. If you were going to take a chance on any of these guys not named Mendoza, this was the one I think to take a chance on. But again, he just can't move. He's a statue. I think they're kind of hoping that they're going to resurrect Ben Roethlisberger here. And, maybe it works out for him. But honestly, if it were 1987, he might be the first pick in the draft.
Yeah.
But there's some wow stuff on his tape. And then there's some, oh, wow, like just why stuff on his tape too. So interesting guy, big arm. His biggest flaw is he can get a little Jay Cutlery and just forget about his feet and just doesn't give a crap, throw from any platform. The one thing about Penn State, what they did with him that I could not understand, dude cannot run. And yet they're doing stuff like QB draws, like they're about to show here on NFL Network. But the highlight they just showed that this was one of his more special throws. He can move a little, but damn, it's going to be tough for him.
Well, if you're a Steelers fan, right, and you're thinking about a couple of years ago, you spent a first rounder on Kenny Pickett, and now it's a third rounder on Drew. Okay.
It's better.
Right. That's a lot.
If
That's
you
better.
blow a third rounder, it's better than
always. Yeah.
If you could
missing on the first.
If you could take Will Howard's decision making and wheels and just strap on Drew Aller's arm onto it, you got somebody.
Maybe.
Can they?
Maybe the Steelers doctors have something in mind.
Bigger, faster, stronger. Yeah.
Lisa saying in chat, Steelers get their next Kenny Pickett. So
no. He has real man hands. He's got a real man arm. Like he is the anti Kenny Pickett.
All right. So we are going to take a break. We will come back for around pick number 90 and talk more NFL draft. Talk to you then.
Peace.
Woo-hoo. What about the Blue Hens?
Less. You know, it's the same thing, but it's not as nice as this.
It's not Michigan.
Yeah.
Hey, the one thing that annoys me about Michigan people, like Rich Eisen, he's like, yeah, team 144, they won. Like that's how they track it. Like every year, it's like team 145, team 140. Yeah.
Episode 500.
Right.
We're back.
Hello.
Oh, hey, we're
Hello,
on.
bing bong. Hello, bing bong. Hello.
4 picks to go. Rams are on the clock.
Boo.
Yeah, they're going to find a way to screw this up. Just running down some of the picks that came off the board during the break. Got Chris McClellan.
Yeah.
You don't need to go over it.
No, pregnant. I'm saying.
Oh, I know. You're
shaking
okay.
my head, yeah.
Yeah, you were jumping ahead to pregnant.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the ones that mattered most to me.
Halsey, the safety from LSU.
Mhm.
Branch, the Georgia wide receiver. Jacoby Lane, who we talked about a little bit. Albert Regis, defensive tackle, Texas A&M.
Big citrus.
Big citrus. Went to the Vikings.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Chris Brazzell, the wide receiver from Tennessee, went to the Panthers.
Yeah. Tedero and now Brazzell.
Yeah, man.
Careful. Could be spicy if they get a quarterback.
Yeah. It's just that Brazzell will outrun Bryce Young's arm every single play.
Only 3 offensive linemen taken. Oh, until Keegan Tross from Missouri.
Mizzou. 6'4", 5.5, 311 pounds. Big man from Mizzou is now a Los Angeles Ram. Playing right tackle here on the video, you do wonder. I don't know much about him, if he's going to be kicked inside type guy at this point, or if they think he's a true tackle. But look, I mean, the Rams already botched this draft. With that, taking a tackle prospect from a school like Mizzou, probably pretty okay.
Yeah, it looks like he's a decent mover just based off kind of the snap scouting here, watching some of the highlights and all that. Look, it's insurance, right? For Stafford. You got to try to keep him healthy, because if you don't, then you got to deal with Ty Simpson or Stetson Bennett, apparently.
Woof.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd like to make fun of this pick more, but I don't think I can.
It might be their smartest pick of the draft so far.
Right.
Yeah.
They took a 7th tight end, a 4th quarterback, and because he's probably not going to be second, and now it may be an actual tackle. So we shall see. But the picks are flying. Miami's up next. They've had a ton of picks today. They need them. And then it's the Patriots, and then we are back on the clock. So guys, you had a wager right now. Do you think Seattle sticks and picks once again, or do we actually finally find a dance partner and accumulate more picks? Brandon,
based on how things are going, I'm saying we pick.
Okay,
we're gonna pick. It's dunker time, baby.
Ooh,
yeah,
you don't just dunk a dunkaroo,
That's right. It's a slam dunk of a pick, that dunker. And I do want to ask you though, Clinton.
Okay.
You were preggers for pregnant.
I was.
Was it a false positive?
It turned out.
Okay.
Turned out.
All right.
Left my heart in Jacksonville with that one. Yeah. So
well.
Duval, he's down there now. He lasted. I mean, that was a dude that in many mocks was late first round and early second round, last all the way to I think it was pick 88.
Yeah.
And that is a little too long, man. But that happens every single year. And guess what? When you have draft crushes, you often actually don't get them. That's just the way it goes.
It's
in the
true.
NFL.
I did hit the unmute button a little early, and Lisa said, "We can hear you. Stop bad mouthing me." Lisa, you should have heard what we said when we were off camera.
Yeah, geez,
yeah, because it would have gone to her head just hearing how awesome her and Greg are.
But Lisa is on board with you. She is rooting for the unholy ginger union incoming.
Yeah.
Like, just don't be mad if it is Bo Stevens and not Jennings.
No, I will not be mad. I'll only be like 40% mad if they trade out and don't take one of these offensive linemen that are on the board.
I'm gonna say they throw a little knuckleball and they take Connor Lew, the center from Auburn.
Will you quit trying to replace Jalen Sandell, who's a very good center?
With the best center.
Did he kick your cat or something?
The best center in the draft this year.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
It's just he's coming off an ACL, so he's sliding down the board a little bit. We've seen a couple centers taken already, but Connor Lew still available, the Auburn center.
I wouldn't mind if we gave him a looky-loo.
Yeah.
I know. Hey, the jokes get worse the later the draft goes, so they can't all be winners either.
Maybe you should have more claw.
That will help.
Wonderful.
Let's see who else came off the board as we were away. Anybody noteworthy?
Well, when did McCoy go? Where and when did McCoy go? Because I don't remember. Ted Hurst went. Nice pick
No,
there.
McCoy still hasn't gone.
What?
No.
McCoy's on the board.
He's still on the board.
Dude, you take,
So,
I mean,
speaking of dudes who are injured and
run
coming
the
off
ticket
injury.
up. Guy's a top 10 pick a year ago.
Yeah.
I think it's indicative of just how impatient the league is as a whole, right? The idea that you got to stash a guy for the majority of a year.
If it's a degenerative knee issue, a lot of times that takes dudes completely off teams.
Well, it could be
board,
forever.
so
Yeah. I understand.
I mean, is it degenerative? I don't know. I guess the
I
medical
don't-
is always a little
we
bit,
don't know.
yeah, tough. And you hear like GMs, like the number one thing that they dread is when they turn in all of their draft crushes to medical and they start going through them and they like come back and they're like, absolutely not. Not like these five guys.
Yeah. Like, no.
They're like, what? Why? It's
Yep.
like, are you sure? Can we get him some stem cells? Like, there's got to be something we can do.
Kyle Lewis still on the board as linebacker from Pitt. And again, I think he was a 30 visit not too long ago. But the pick is in for Miami. So we'll be on deck right after we hear what the Dolphins did.
Yeah, Everett, cornerback from Georgia, came off. Austin Barber, tackle from Florida, went to the Browns.
All right. So they go wide receiver with Chris Bell here out of Louisville, giving the new quarterback some help there. I mean, that's got to be tough for Malik Willis, right? Like he signs with the Dolphins. It's like, hey,
we traded.
No.
I'm 40% mad, John. I'm 40% mad.
We only traded back 3 picks.
But that's like 24 hours, brah.
No, it's still 3rd round. It's,
Oh, cool. Then I
because
take-
we're into the comp picks.
Oh, then I take all that back.
So,
Oh, cool. That sounds great.
Oh, I wonder what we picked up. We haven't heard yet, I'm sure, but
Okay. All right. I don't mind that. That's
it
fine.
won't. It's probably if I had to guess, 6th, maybe end of the 5th.
Maybe one of those. It could be maybe one of those flops, where you give a 5th, get back a 4th. Yeah,
I mean, let me do some research.
He's going to research, folks. Patriots pick is in. And as you're hearing live, we have traded out with the Steelers coming up right after that.
so we're at 99 then.
Are we now?
Is that
I think
that it? You said 3 picks back?
I think something like that.
Okay.
I think you're correct.
Yeah.
But he took it off screen. So
99. Well, he's doing research.
I understand.
Yeah,
He
you
said
take
that.
things off the screen when you do research. Emmett Johnson's still on the board, I believe, right?
I think Jonah Coleman is too.
Oh my goodness.
You
Can you
double-
imagine if they double dipped it back?
Imagine if they took them both at the same pick and they're just like, we want them both.
Yeah.
Like, sorry.
Yeah. We'll take Emmett Coleman, please.
Yeah, it might be like, yes, there you go. I was like, no. Yes, that's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, you picked it up. Yeah, that's exactly right. Take
Yeah.
them both.
And the league is like, wait a second. Are you
Yeah,
confused
yeah,
here? They're
I
like,
said,
no,
no.
we're taking 2.
No, we won
Well,
the Super Bowl.
No, you're only supposed to take 1. No,
Yeah.
but we're taking 2. Like, that's what we're doing. So,
Win the Super Bowl, you get that'd be a kind of a cool rule.
see how great Dion Branch.
Yeah. Hey, look,
Making
you know,
it big.
he had some years. As a
He
Seahawk.
had some years. He wore the uniform.
Only cost us a 1st round pick. That was
That's all.
something. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
something. That was a choice.
Yeah, back when you just did not pick up the phone when Belichick called you.
Yeah.
Would you like some Dion Branch? I'll
Yeah.
part with it for first.
Yeah, we were desperate and it wasn't a great idea.
No.
Not a great idea. All right, well, we shall see how this all shakes. Thank you for letting me know right away that we stayed in this round because I was crestfallen. I was. Another tight end gone. This time Notre Dame, Eli. I think it's Raritan. I mean, these are your boys right here. This is like the AJ Barner type when it comes to height, weight, right there. So 6'4" and something, and 230 something, a big ass boy. So
Jason Turner saying, I'm still on cloud 9. The Seahawks got a blue chip running back. Go Hawks. So
nice.
if you look at the draft value chart, number 99 pick worth 104 points. The Seahawks pick at 96 was worth 116.
Yeah.
So only an 8-point pick. And Pittsburgh, they had the final pick in the 6th round.
Okay.
This is like a 4-point pick. So if we got any more than a 6th and a 7th out of them, then we got over on this trade. But they have, I think, they have middle of the 5th, and I think that would be way too much value that they would have given that up. So if we were able to move back and get their 5th, that's huge. If it's their 6th, then another 7th, then okay, fine.
I will see, but sometimes you do the little floppy too, right, man? Pay this pick, and we give up a 6 to get their 5th too. So that's always in play as well. We'll see.
Could have been a multiple pick trade because the only other pick the Seahawks I don't know. Once you get
we'll
to
figure it out. We'll find out. But I like that you're doing the
Seattle had 188, so that would make sense if you did the flip flop. You move from the 6th then into the 5th, and
could be.
that
We might
could
be stopping this in real time.
I think so. Yeah,
feels right at least. Let's see who these players that go right now, right before our Seahawks, to see if we have any heartbreak. Like some.
Yes, we did trade Phil.
No, kid. It broke my heart.
And
God
the
dang it,
Steelers,
John, I'm 48% mad now.
the Steelers picked Jennings Dunker with
And
the
he's gonna
pick
be awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
that's
Steelers
the thing,
always
right.
take good
Yeah.
that
offensive
would
line.
have been our pick.
It's an extra poke in the eye.
Yeah.
It's certainly that's a big poke in the eye.
Yeah.
Especially if he ends up being good, right? So Iowa linemen typically good. So all right, well again.
Yeah, who's the one that DeLeon liked better than Dunker?
Bo
The other
Stevens.
Bo
Stevens. And Logan, but he was the center, but he's gone already.
Well, I'm a hoe for Bo now, so let's go.
I was pregnant for Pregno, and I'm a hoe for Bo.
I'm a hoe for Bo.
Well, and to make it even worse, Marlon is saying we get the 99 and the 216. So that is the last pick in the 6th round. So no pick swap to get extra value. Just an extra pick, and we did not
care.
We did not
Look
care.
at him at the Senior Bowl. Look at that ginger just doing work. Look at he's running his 40. Rawr.
Now we have to watch
yeah,
Dunker highlights.
I know. For like the next 12 years, by the way. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Look at that flow.
I hate that I have to root for this guy to stink now.
Ugh,
I can't.
I know.
Look at him throwing hay bales.
That's exactly right. You want farm strong boys.
Throwing hay bales over a high jump bar?
Yeah.
That's a thing?
So
oh yeah, it is in Iowa. It's actually a full-on contest, and like Iowa offensive linemen do really well.
So I'm sure it's heavy, but just say have you ever
thrown a bale?
I don't know.
Have you ever picked up a bale?
I've ever picked up hay. I've seen hay, I don't think I've ever picked up a straw of hay and be like, oh, let me, no. So, but pretty compact, pretty heavy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what are we talking? What do you think?
50 pounds.
Okay. I know it's dense.
Yeah. 40, 50. Yeah. Something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're also picking it up too by just the baling twine,
yeah.
So it cuts into your fingers. So you're doing work.
Yeah.
Some people wear gloves when they do that work.
Yeah, I know, but they're not real
Not
men.
me.
Yeah.
Not me.
Exactly. Oh, Vikings are doubling up.
Double Vikes.
Yeah. And Lisa pointing
They're
out,
going to take Emmett and Jonah.
Yeah. Hay much heavier than straw.
1,000% yes.
They're different?
Yes, they are different.
See, I live in Connecticut. I don't know what to tell everybody. Sorry. Grew up in Long Island. I type on a computer all day. I don't know.
Hay is what the animals eat. Straw is like the garbage that you use for bedding.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I thought
the straw is basically just a stock hay. You get the grain on top as well.
I thought it was the same thing, and the straw was the one that fell out.
Leaves.
Yeah, I thought the straw was just the stuff on the floor.
No,
That fell out of
straw
it.
cheap, hay expensive. That's how you.
Hey.
It's gonna cost you some bones.
Yeah, Phil Leidick saying we added a 7th for dropping 3. Well, technically, Phil, we added a 6th, which is the very, very last pick in the 6th.
Yeah.
But if you want to be the optimist, it's better than any round. It's better than any pick in the 7th.
Do you think John just needed to scratch that itch of
Yeah,
trading
a little
back?
bit.
Had to trade it.
A
Yeah,
little bit. I do. And usually, if you're trading with the team and you're actually on the phone with them, I think they tell you, right? Hey, like,
No, they don't have to.
No, they don't have to. I'm saying, but they might say, "Hey, we're going to take Jennings here if we're trading up." Like,
Then you go, oh well, I'm not going to accept your trade.
right, exactly.
I guess we know.
I think mum's the word. I suppose it depends on the relationship with the GM, right? Like, and
I'm saying after the deal struck, it's like, okay, who are you going to take? We're taking Jennings. Like,
Maybe
maybe I'm making things up. I don't know. Won't be the last time.
it does depend on the relationship. Like you hear Holmgren talk a little bit about it.
Okay, I'm
like
not
some of the no, you're not crazy.
All right.
It is relationship dependent. So if it's a guy they know, and who are you going to take? And
Right. Okay. Either way, Dunker out of our life now.
yeah,
I mean, that's it.
it's gone now. Yeah,
and Sam Gelber saying, I bet it was a comp pick. It was, in fact, a comp pick because,
Boo.
yeah, that's, let's see.
Boo Earns.
It would have been, I think Detroit had her picked. I think there's 3 comp picks after, at the end of the 6th.
Okay. Well, we have turned late round picks into some gems before.
true fact.
Yeah,
Hey,
yep.
look, and at this point, here in the 3rd, I know it doesn't make sense, but for my draft crush. It does. So like, let's go Emmett Johnson or Jonah Coleman. Let's double up.
Double up.
You want to double up on
RBs?
backs?
Double up on backs. Look, I mean, at the end of the day,
You want one of them to work? Yeah.
we have gone through backs like underwear, in terms of injuries over the last few years. You can't have enough of them. And if your offense is based on that, then maybe that's what we do.
I do like Emmett Johnson. It wouldn't make me sad if we took him.
I don't think they will. And
I'm just saying I wouldn't be sad. I don't
gotcha.
think they
I
would.
like
That doesn't
Emmett
make sense. I'm not saying it's a good idea.
Well,
This is what I want.
about 5 minutes ago, we took a double dip. So it all makes sense. We wanted Jonah and Emmett in one swoop.
Well, here's the thing. So we have this pick in the third round,
Mhm.
and now John Schneider will not pick again until, as it stands, if there's no more trades, not again until the end of the sixth. So it could be any player that has that they have their eye on that would have been late round 3 to end of sixth round. Like that's a wide range of players that he could have just fallen in love with from a visit. Just really like it. Like,
yeah,
this is the last dude.
Right.
Yeah. The last guy that you look at and you go, he has a legitimate chance to be a starter, right? Like you start
Most
getting into the
likely,
6, 7 round, and you said it, Brandon. Like we've picked up guys and made stars out of them late in the draft before, and you just can't hang your hat on that, right? And I think that's one of the things that John learned from his first go around after trying to repeat as a Super Bowl champion, and just to catch that lightning in the bottle is tough. So yeah, this is kind of the last pick that you look at and you go, a dude that could have at least a 50-50 shot of being a significant contributor.
And I think to the point that we ain't going to pick for a while after this. And as much as I think BPA doesn't exist, this is with that kind of gap. If you're like, well, this guy is still on the board for us, as you're saying. And even if it was something where you're double dipping or where you already have a position of strength where you don't think you need it, but you're like, we can't believe he's still there. Well, you do take him here because you have this huge gap.
Or even if it's not a situation where you can't believe he's still there, it could be the situation of we expected this guy to be there in the fourth, and we were really hoping to trade one of those other picks earlier on.
True.
So we could get extra picks in the fourth or fifth round to be able to take him there. And that's not going to happen. So, okay, we'll take your late sixth round just because then it's an extra pick. And this was the guy, if we only had one pick left, that we were going to take on day 3.
Yep. And just quickly, we are on the clock, boys. So
yeah.
Vikings picked their 2 picks. They took a tackle and they take a safety, Jacoby Thomas from the U. And so the Seahawks are back on the clock. Does not say pick is in yet. So you do wonder if John's wheeling and dealing until the 11th hour here.
And if I'm thinking of guys that they would have expected could fall,
The pick
it
is
could be
in.
one of these guys who had some of these injury issues that might not be available then until middle of the season if they're coming off an ACL or something like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Maybe this is the McCoy pick then.
Do that.
Yeah.
Do that.
Well,
99
do that as long as your doctor said.
Do
yeah,
it.
Go ahead.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. 99th, McCoy. Let's go. Top 10 pick a year ago.
I don't know.
A year ago.
We're about to find out.
A lot of
here.
confidence here. Some swag. I don't know who they are yet, but I like them. I like them.
The glare on the screen is so bad for me. I have no idea who's up there announcing our pick.
It is Cliff Averill.
Oh, it's Cliff
Nice.
back again. Okay, cool.
We've had Cliff Averill on the podcast. He came. He came and talked to. Was it the day
Julian
after?
Cornerback
Neal.
Julian
Julian Neal,
from
okay.
Arkansas.
Okay. All right.
A name we heard bandied about
Yep.
throughout the draft process for sure.
Absolutely. Good size, 6'1", pushing on 6'2", over 200 pounds. All right. Hey, look, I am not mad about taking. We need competition. We talked about needing competition at safety. Look, to the first 3 rounds, this was the competition draft so far.
Yeah.
We needed to make sure the running back room had more competition and potentially a 1. We need to make sure the safety room had more competition. We need to make sure the cornerback room needed more competition. More competition.
Yeah.
So again, BPA be damned, guys. This was the exact opposite of BPA because it doesn't actually exist.
And how happy does that make you on the inside, Clinton?
It just makes me right.
Which makes you happy
Sure.
on the inside, right? Yeah. No, I mean, this is the Reek Woolen replacement, right? I mean,
Could
not
be.
quite as tall as Reek, but they talk about him being fast. I don't know what his 40 was, but Sounds like
could
it
look it
probably
up.
was pretty quick.
If we're taking a Reek replacement, can we take a Reek replacement that plays in the
Tackles?
run
Yeah.
a little bit better?
Yeah, that
Like
has an actual
maybe an
willingness
improvement?
to tackle. Yeah.
Looking at Lance Zierlein scouting report, it says Neal is a late blooming fifth-year cornerback with the size, length, and strength NFL teams desire for a press corner. His technique is in need of more work before he's game ready. A more physical approach at press would be beneficial in controlling a release. He has average long speed, but that won't matter as much in deep zone coverages where his length can take over. So it is feeling like a replacement. His talent as a run defender and tackler will benefit him in short zone coverage.
Like
Okay,
that.
there we go.
I like that.
Neal's traits raise the ceiling, but fit and technical improvement will be essential for him to become a factor. So based on John's track record, this does sound like the kind of project players that we've seen him take in the past and do well with.
Yeah, and Mike has seemed to be able to develop corners as well. And so if kind of the biggest knock on a lot of these scouting reports was, technical issues, and we saw on the NFL Network's little graphic there, it said occasionally hesitant. So that would kind of point towards a processing thing. That's something that Mike McDonald is really good at coaching up in people, right? Because he makes really complicated things really easy so guys can play fast. And if that's his big knock, then that's Mike's superpower to get those things fixed.
32 3/4 arm length, 6'2", 203 pounds, a 4.49 in the 40, 40-inch vertical, 7.13 in the 3 cone. I think that's good. Broad
seems
jump.
like good sack.
Yeah. 1.59 in the 10-yard split. So 2 interceptions, 10 pass breakups, 55 tackles last season for Neal.
And playing against very good competition, the Arkansas team, they got a pretty decent year overall. I'm not saying record-wise, but competitive. And the interesting part for me as we close out what is, day 2 now and our first 3 picks is who didn't we take, right? We didn't take an offensive lineman. So one of the things that Mike and John have talked about in the 2 years together now is that, hey, players are allowed to get better.
Yep.
They've said like that phrase. And I've always thought that was kind of clever. So last year when they took the bites with, Cable Dew specifically and some others, maybe they just feel like, you know what, they actually got the horses. They are the ones who are going to need a little bit more seasoning and opportunity to potentially challenge Bradford. And also they might be like, hey, if Bradford's the starting guard again, maybe they're just like, hey, we won 1 Super Bowl with them.
Yeah, I think the thought process has to go something along the lines of, we won a Super Bowl with Anthony Bradford after 1 year of Benton coaching him. And I think we all agree that we're all very high on Coach Benton and what he does with the offensive line. And they're thinking, hey, just think what happens after 2 years of coaching underneath Benton.
Be double good.
We'll win 2 Super Bowls at once. So
Gambling Goat, member for 9 months, says 0 picks in the trenches so far. Hate that. That part's disappointing, but we lost Reek. We got a corner. We lost Kobe. We got a safety. We lost running back, K9. We got a running back. And those top 3 guys that were taken in free agency, it appears that we're replacing them through the draft. Couple things here from theringer.com. Neal is a mid-round prospect, and he would be the first Arkansas defensive back drafted since 2022. But part of his scouting report says he's a tough physical run defender who doesn't miss many tackles and finished with a career high of 55 in 2025. Strong and long enough to fight off blocks. He has covered kickoffs and has the skill set to develop into an effective special teams player in the NFL, and hopefully a corner.
Oh, man. I forgot what I was going to say. So,
well, I was going to say, maybe it alleviates your fears of seeing Nehemiah Pritchett out there.
Perhaps. And, we will see. We'll see how that shakes, for sure. But I'm not mad about the process. I know what it was. So when Gigi mentioned, Gambling Goat was saying that we didn't get any beef in the trenches. Yes, I understand not liking that. I get that. And I get that, we can't wait much, much longer before we replenish that cupboard. But that does feel like a next year thing with the constitution of the team right now. That's like, okay, Leo's not going anywhere this year. We don't think DeMarcus Lawrence is going anywhere this year. Jared Reed's coming back for a year. Now, it could get empty pretty quick. Those dudes are on the wrong side of the equation in terms of their career, and they might play a year or 2 or 3 more, and that's about it. So you do have to start to replenish that. It's clear that's not what's happening this year.
No, it seems like John's looking at this and going, look, I'm not too worried about the future right for this year. What I'm really looking at is I want a chance to repeat. I want to do what we didn't or weren't able to accomplish last time. We were a play away from that. So how do I mitigate that and try to make it so that we have a better opportunity to do that? And honestly, if you're looking at the drafts of the NFC West teams, I feel like this made us more complete than any of the other teams in the NFC West, including the Rams with their draft picks.
RJ in chat saying we got Riley. So defensive interiors. If you think about how Riley Mills has developed, like it does feel like we got contribution from him last season, but really he was with the injury, it's kind of one of the stash and hope for development later.
Nearly a red shirt, right to the very end there.
Yeah. And look, I mean, I'm not saying that we're screwed on defensive line this year in any way, shape, or form, right? Like the guys are still there, and it's not like there's big drop.
Not to interrupt you, but
no, go ahead.
It's more. I know you're saying that to get to the point, but it's like not saying we're screwed. We're still like top 3, maybe the best defensive line in the league. Like just to say, like it's really a chasm away from not really screwed, It's right. Like we might be the best defensive line.
I guess what I'm trying to say is like in a year or 2,
right? Then it could fall off.
Just because there's some guys getting a little longer in the tooth.
100%.
Yeah, you hear retirement talk swirl around Tank. You hear retirement talk swirl around Leo a little bit.
Reed,
yeah, and then Jaron Reed as well. And like Riley Mills is great. Like I'm super excited about Riley Mills, and he's a funny dude. Enjoyed our interview with him last night.
Go watch it. It was good. Coming out tomorrow morning.
Good time. But Riley Mills is one human, even though his bicep might be a second one if you count it. But at the end of the day, he can only do so much in the future. But again, there's going to be more picks coming down the line. We've talked about 27's draft being one where we're kind of loaded up for picks, and with some of the comp picks from the dudes that we lost this year.
We could be looking at a future state where Murphy and Mills are the new anchors, right? Murphy has already ascended, but then Mills takes an ascension, and maybe you get that last year or 2 of Leo. Just putting a possible scenario.
Yeah, just depending on what he wants to do.
And then you're stacking new dudes as like Murphy goes into year 4 and 5, and you're like, all right, then we've replenished. We've got some rookies that have that kind of juice, but you're starting from a base of Murphy and likely Mills, who we think is going to be good. Again, not. I think most NFL teams feel like, hey, project 3 years out, and what do your 2 defensive tackles look like? We're still in the upper third of maybe even upper quarter of that projection with those 2 dudes is still better than most.
It's a great start, fantastic foundation. The reason why I talk about Leo and him retiring and why it worries me as much as it does is he's a well-rounded dude, right? It's not like football is everything in life to him. Like he talks about family and everything about that. And then like the diving and the spearfishing and all that. He has other passions. Like at some point when you can walk away and your body's still good and you can go out and do those other things, there may be a day where you're like, I'm done with just training camp and OTAs and all that. And I've walked away with 2 rings now and like go swim in the ocean and have himself a day,
Sydney Hawks fan saying Riley Mills with one spectacular play is a growing legend. It's very, very true.
I mean, it's true.
And
but it was more than that.
Right. Right.
Oh, yeah.
It's also the Notre Dame tape is really, really, really good. And he's a defensive tackle who clearly could get pressure on the quarterback, which that's the premium in the NFL.
But it was a spectacular play.
And it was the best play. Right. He became a father on national TV. So, pretty good.
Nate saying if Dunker becomes a good starter and this guy becomes nothing, that will be a wee bit sad.
Yeah,
I'd be more than a bit sad.
Yeah.
I mean, you go back to the 21 year, right? And you still think about not taking center and going with Eskridge, and it's those things stick with you.
Yeah. I was gonna bring up Humphreys there because it's been one that is stuck in your craw from the word jump.
I'm over it now because it's been long enough.
And,
but
here we are,
now a 2-time champion as a fan.
Look at you.
Yeah, and that helps a lot. Right?
And then Creed's only won 1, so.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, same with
Or
Fletcher.
did he win 2?
He's
no, 1-1
probably
lost 1.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there you go. Same with Fletcher Cox, where we had an opportunity to get him. the year that I think we ended up taking, was that the calendar year? Where I forget. Either way, we trade back, and there was opportunities to get dudes like staring at our face like Fletcher Cox, and we passed. So when
Penny versus Chubb, Marlon brings up.
That one was rough. That was rough.
Yeah,
that was a rough one.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we're not seeing a repeat of that this time around, because obviously taking the running back very late in the first round, like we did with Penny.
Yokai Hawk saying, "What's the broadcast tomorrow?" And unfortunately, Yokai Hawk, tomorrow is a driving day or a travel day for all of us.
Travel day. Back home, I'll be on the plane watching the third round. The nice part, I'm on American tomorrow. I hope they have decent Wi-Fi. We'll find out.
Okay.
We'll see.
Well, we'll see how it goes for you, but I'm pretty sure like American and United just merged, so you're boned on that. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Just get me home.
That's exactly. Enjoy your time in your flying recliner in the sky.
Exactly.
Like it won't be bad as Brendan and I toil across Eastern Washington back home to Montana.
Nate saying, "Stream the draft while driving." Unfortunately, Nate, there are things called mountain passes, and we lose cell service. So that most of the time, I think the draft is going to be going. I might be listening on satellite radio.
Well, if I have Starlink on the plane, which I won't, but if I do, how amazing would it be for the rest of the passengers to hear me talk for 5 hours straight on the way back from West Coast to East Coast? Because that's probably nice, right?
I mean, I don't know if they could fully appreciate the gift they were about to experience, to be honest. Like, I mean, just a free, I don't know, what would it be? A row 25 seat to Clinton Bonner talking about the draft while en route back home to Connecticut.
Yes, Nate, we'll look at that. I'll see if I can make it happen for you. No promises, but I will try.
Yeah, Mr. Springer checking in. Sorry, I'm late. New job, and boy, it's wild. A new job, but what happened to running the restaurant?
Oh yeah, right. Well,
we were supposed to stop by there.
Well, yeah, that was on my way home. Like that was part of the plan.
Well, maybe we'll find out, but maybe as another job, a second job, things happen.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, when you look at it though, first 3 rounds,
needs.
Hard to be too upset about it. No doubt about it.
I'm with you.
All right. Well, a big thanks to everybody who came and chimed in throughout these couple of days. Joining us live. You can see it's getting dark here as we are enjoying the Puget Sound here. Clinton mentioned several times that he's getting really cold. So
no, you're not.
I'm cold.
No, you're not.
I am cold.
I am
currently cold.
There's no possible way you're cold right now. It's delightful. It's an absolutely perfect temperature.
Cold.
Closing it out with Sydney Hawks fan saying, "I have zero problem moving forward with our team as is. Can't wait, gentlemen."
Oh, I can't wait either, because this was the second step on the way to that back-to-back ring.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had free agency. Here's the draft, and now it's on to next. And I can't wait for training camp to get going.
That third step is when people get put to the scrap heap, and John Schneider does John Schneider things, and we find dudes like Josh Jobe.
Yeah,
and we're like, ooh, and then by week 3, we're like, ooh, that dude's a player.
Yeah,
because that is going to happen again, because it happens every year.
It does.
Well, appreciate everybody joining in. And yes, we'll be back maybe Sunday, wrapping up this draft class.
Sunday. What's today? Friday?
Unlikely.
Maybe one of us will be back on Friday to talk the draft.
Well, I'm taking some detours on the way home, boys. So, being back on Sunday and then podcasting, I don't know.
All right. Well, we'll figure it out. Stay tuned.
What's up there? You guys are welcome to the front row seat to the production meeting. And look, man, this was a great time. Really enjoyed everything that we were able to do here. Thanks to you guys, man. I know you guys put in a lot of time and effort organizing all of this and keeping us on track. And thanks to everybody here at the Clearwater Casino and Resort. I've said it a couple times now, but what a fantastic facility, fantastic people, just a fantastic event that Eddie puts on as well. And I just couldn't be more thankful for the entire experience and being here with you guys. It's awesome.
We got to run it back for year number 3 if they'll have us.
Well, especially if we win the chip again this year. I mean, because
it'll be required.
It's required. I mean, now we're getting into some stitious stuff.
And I think with that,
there's only one thing left to say.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.